Hello and welcome. I'm Angela Meiritz-Reid of Stampin' Beauty in Christchurch, New Zealand. And these are the projects I'm going to be creating today, this little gift bag and this little covered notebook. If you live in New Zealand and would like copies of the current catalogue, please message me. I'd love to send them to you. Also, all the details will be below. So if you need to know any of the measurements, I'll pop them in the description box below. I was inspired to make these by the blog All Things Scrappy. It was actually in inches, so I've converted it to centimetres for our market. So I'm starting with a piece of this gorgeous Countryside Inn DSP, and it is 24 centimetres long here by 18 centimetres. So I'll just bring in my trimmer. And I've got my blade here for scoring. Just pull out the arm. So this is actually created this way. So this flap here that's tucked under here, under the little sentiment, that is going to be up here. So firstly what I'm going to do is create that tab. So that is 4 centimetres. So I'm just going to put it in here and run it along at 4 centimetres. And then I'm going to do the same on the bottom. So it's really simple when it is the same. So that's 4 centimetres. It's pretty hard to see on this paper, but 4 centimetres at the top. If I do it this way, it's pretty easy, and 4 centimetres. I'll go through and burnish those properly later, but just so you can see, that's the top and the bottom. Then we're going to start doing these pieces here. So the first one is at 7.5 centimetres. So just run that up and down. And the next one is at 11.5 centimetres. So don't worry if you miss these. As I say, I will pop them in the description box. And then 19 centimetres, and then 23. The 23 just gives us a little tab at the end. Just get that out of the way. You could use that to do your cutting, but it's probably easier just to use scissors. So what I'm going to do, I've burnished all those. So that's the bottom, the top, and here, side panel here, back panel here, and then lastly that little tab there. So what we want to do is for the bottom, we're going to cut up here and cut up here. So that's the two narrower, they're going to be the side gussets. So there's another one here, here, and here. And then we're just going to cut off that piece there because we don't need that tab. And then these tabs here, just cut them in half. Just going to make them easier to deal with. And then this, so that's going to be your gusset. So what you want to do is get rid of these pieces here and just have this bit here. That's going to be your flap that comes over the top. So we're just going to cut that tiny little tab and the first side gusset. And I'll try and keep it that way so you can see see how it works without turning it upside down and getting it confused. And then that's the front piece and the side gusset piece from the top and then along there. So that's what you are left with. And then it's just a matter of adhering it together. Now what I found, because this is the front, it's better if that piece is tucked in at the back so you don't have that flappy bit there. So what I found the best thing to do is pop some glue on here and some glue on here, and then this glue on this front piece here. So I'm doing it all at once, which is a little bit tricky, but you can move it if you want. You know, it gives you room for movement. And then just along that tab there. Then I'm going to bring it all in together. Just want to be mindful not to get glue on you. That's going to tuck up there. So those insert pieces are going to sit under there. That one there. So you can just tuck that on. Tuck that in and just give it a moment or two, and then bring that one forward, adhere the bottom, and then adhere that tab there, and then you've got that little box shape. So I just like to give it a couple of moments just to let that stick. So you can see that's your, and so that piece is hidden at the back, you don't see that's a nice edge there. Then when you think it's given enough time, I just pop my fingers into there, press that back, and that's your flap forward. And that is it. It is super, super simple and quick to make. Wouldn't be easier than that really, could it? And then it's just a matter of decorating it. So what I'm going to do to decorate it, I've just got some basic white cardstock, and then I've got the sentiment, I didn't forget your birthday, and Night of Navy to coordinate with the paper. And these are from the Something Fancy. This is from the Something Fancy stamp set, and this is the Something Fancy dies. Just run that through here. And I'm just going to put some little flowers over to that left side, so I'll just pop it more over to the right and run that through just to leave a bit of a clear area to add the embellishment. And then I already have some little die cuts from the Paper Florist Dies. I thought would work on there. So I'm just going to adhere them to here. Just adhere them together. You don't need much glue, so even just picking a bit up off there, I'm just going to layer those. See, it's plenty of glue, more than enough. Just dab that onto there. Might even dab that, that'll go a little bit further. And I'm just layering two, one on top of the other. I'm just going to pop that one on an angle. Just, I like when you get sort of extra depth. This creates a bit of shadow and interest on your project. And I've got one more of these, so I may as well tuck that up onto there. I'll just pop a little bit of glue on there. Tuck that on an angle so that we can get it, all the words in. Then that's going to stick onto here so that that flap sits in behind that. So all you need to do is get a little bit of tape. It's finding the end. Here it is. And just pop that along the bottom. Take that backing off if you can get it off. There we go. Then just tucking that down and just making sure you can go quite a bit down actually. Up there. flip that flap out of the way and press that down, and then you're all good to go. So that's just a quick and simple way of opening and closing it, so that it saves having to put any other sort of tie or anything on there. Actually, I think it would look cute. So that's moved a little bit. Straighten it up a bit. Would look cute with some little embellishments. I think we need a few little sparkle in the middle of that. And then lastly, what I want to do, so you could dress that up all sorts of ways, add a little bit of ribbon, also, you know, endless ideas. Then just to cover the notebook, just got a piece of DSP that's exactly the same width as the pad, and then just slightly longer. And what I'm going to do is just bend it around the edge. And then just add some glue to that, just make sure that's straight. And then just bend that back over, and then just firmly press that onto there. And then that's it, done. You've got a wee notebook. That will adhere. What I did once I'd glued them, I buttered them up against a wall and then put something heavy on them, so that would glue, you know, dry really buttered up against that and stay nicely adhered. And then you could also decorate this however you like, add something similar, or just a little posy of flowers. Endless opportunities. And then this was another one I didn't decorate it much, but just I thought really good for the guys for Father's Day. And you can see it's quite roomy inside. You can get quite a few bits and pieces. We had some Ferrero Rochers in there and a Kit Kat, so we've made a nice little treat for our guests at our Crafternoon Tea. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and that you'll make something like similar. Thanks a lot. Bye.